But to begin, I want to start with the first article that you wrote in this series. It is titled "The Gold at Fort Knox Was Stolen from Americans."
The turn of the 19th to 20th century, people could exchange for gold, but they often did not. They often were happy to just leave it in the bank and use paper money because it was easy to do that. And so there was gold there circulating through the system. It was a dynamic part of the economy. And and throughout most of Europe, throughout most of the world, they went off a meaningful classical gold standard at the end of World War I. And really it was until 1933 then that people continued to use gold bullion as well as paper money for exchange in a variety of cases. Now, what happened is that due to a variety of gold bonds that the US had to pay off in gold and was running out of that gold, as well as the fact that the US central government didn't like being restrained by the fact it couldn't inflate a lot if paper money was still tied to gold. It decided we're just going off the classical gold standard also. So there was a massive amount of gold confiscation that went on in the United States at that time. So gold coins flowed in and gold did not flow out anymore. Now it all flowed in and it never went out ever again, in spite of the fact that they were violating contracts. So it was essentially stolen. It was stolen in the sense that the federal government was no longer making good on its World War I bonds. It was stolen in the sense that they straight up confiscated gold from ordinary people. And then later on in 1971, the US finally also defaulted on its international gold obligations. So under the Bretton Woods system, the US government was required to pay out gold at about $35 an ounce to international claimants on the gold. And this was usually other central banks from other countries. And they would exchange their gold reserves for gold with the U.S. Federal Reserve. And then in 1971, Nixon said, nah, we're not going to do that anymore. We're just going to hoard all the gold. You foreigners, you can't do anything now. It's too bad. It's our gold now. You don't get it. So that was another sort of default that happened. So you can see how in essentially 2 or 3 stages, the U.S. government seized this gold and never made good on its many obligations, and that's where the gold came from.